Kendrick Lamar was once the biggest fan of Lil Wayne. Not only does he credit Weezy for changing his perspective on work ethic,
I never told Wayne this. That changed my perspective about work ethic.
But the usually private and reserved Kendrick once even went on a drunken rant in 2016 where he begged Wayne not to retire when rumors of him leaving the game surfaced.
No, nigga, no, no, no!
Clips like these, along with countless songs and interviews where Kendrick Lamar praised Weezy, revealed just how much he admired the rap icon. Given Kendrick's humble nature, he likely thought he'd always remain in Wayne's shadow when he first entered the game. But fast forward to 2024, and things couldn't be more different. Lil Wayne, heartbroken, publicly expressed his pain after learning that he wouldn't be headlining the Super Bowl halftime show in his own hometown.
That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about, it hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown.
Instead, Wayne had to face the reality that while a rapper would be taking center stage on the NFL's biggest night in New Orleans, it wouldn't be him. It would be none other than Kendrick Lamar. The same Kendrick who once idolized Wayne, but has spent much of this year dismantling the legacy of one of his proteges, Drake. So, how did Kendrick go from being nothing more than a fan who had the utmost respect and admiration for Wayne to overshadowing him in his very own city? And why do many hip-hop fans believe that Jay-Z is the true villain behind this story? My name is Louaista, and if you guys like weekly documentaries like this one, don't forget to subscribe. It all started with a simple announcement video. Standing next to a backdrop of an American flag, K-Dot revealed that he would be performing at this year's Super Bowl halftime show.
What the deal, everybody? My name's Kendrick Lamar, and I'll be performing at Super Bowl 59.
Immediately, fans saluted K-Dot, but the irony wasn't lost on anyone. When Drizzy and J. Cole, who are known to be Kendrick's rivals at this point, boldly declared that they were as big as the Super Bowl on the very track that sparked their beef, First-Person Shooter.
Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl.
With everyone wondering how many times he would potentially play Not Like Us, no one seemed to consider how this news would affect the most famous MC to ever come out of New Orleans, Lil Wayne. With the Super Bowl taking place in his hometown this year, and Kendrick now taking stage in Wayne's place, it's a move that can be seen as downright disrespectful. What makes this even more devastating is that Wayne has been actively campaigning for that top spot at the Super Bowl halftime show for years. Since the moment that it was announced that the NFL's biggest night would be held at New Orleans' Allegiant Stadium, Weezy F Baby was letting it known that he was coming for that stage. Even though Wayne hadn't heard anything by the time he appeared on YG's 400 podcast in February, he remained hopeful that the NFL would reach out and give him the call that he had been waiting for.
I would not lie to you, I have not got a call. But we all praying, you know, we keeping our fingers crossed. I'm working hard, I'm gonna make sure this next album and everything I do is killer. So I'm gonna make it very hard for them I wanna just make it hard for them not to holler at the boy.
But when the news broke that the halftime show decision made by those in charge, including a former ally of Weezy's, whom I'll discuss later, went in favor of Kendrick, Wayne was devastated. He even issued a public statement expressing just how deeply the decision had hurt him.
First of all, I want to say forgive me for the delay on, just the delay. I want to say I had to get strength. I had to get strength enough to do this without breaking. I must say thank you to every voice, every opinion, all the care, all the love and the support out there. Your words turned into arm and it held me up when I tried to fall back. That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about, it hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown, which is automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. I blame myself for that, but you know, I thought there was nothing better than that spot and that stage and that platform in my city. So it hurt a whole lot.
Wayne let the world know that this decision had been one of the toughest blows that he had ever experienced in his career. So much so that he couldn't bring himself to congratulate K-Dot, instead saluting the fans.
So like I said, it broke me and I'm just trying to put me back together, but my God, have you helped me. Thanks to my peers, my friends, my family, my homies on sports television, everybody repping me. I really appreciate that. I really do. I feel like I let all of y'all down by not getting that opportunity, but I'm working on me and I'll work. So thank you.
Despite the event taking place in Wayne's backyard, K-Dot was drafted in, and this immediacy divided opinion. Some people felt like it was an injustice, and after seeing Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg get that hometown California love during their halftime show just a few years back, they felt Tunechi deserved the same opportunity. I think not acknowledging Wayne's legacy and what he's done for music after seeing 2022, this was a perfect spot for Wayne. Others went on the other route entirely, unfairly discrediting Weezy's contributions to the game outright. While it's unlikely that Weezy will take the stage at Allegiant Stadium, one thing's for sure: the man who's always been vocal about being a disciple of his music since a young age will still carry that influence with him.
I go all the way back to the Hot Boy days, you know, and being 13, listening to this dude, just remembering the staple that he put on the game back then, all the way to now, you know, to have that longevity years beyond it. So for him, you know, to actually acknowledge, you know, what I'm doing right now, you know, and see it as a path the same way, you know, the longevity that he created is a great feeling to actually share that same stage and that same moment with him, you know. Wayne ain't no new jack to the game, like I said, you know. He influenced a lot of styles and a lot of sounds, and I can say I was influenced by a certain sound and the flow and the cadence, you know, that he brought to the game, which was very unique. Me being a young boy in the game and listening to him, I need to learn this and that.
Kendrick's love for Wayne is real. The only problem is that outside forces have drove them apart, leaving K-Dot unable to lift his idol up beside him. And now, it looks like at this point in history, the student is overtaking the master. What's been missing from this conversation around Dot's Super Bowl performance is how much Kendrick has always saluted Wayne. Back in the early days of his career, Kendrick's third mixtape, C4, was primarily built around his own versions of Lil Wayne's old tracks. In some ways, this echoed what Weezy used to do back in the day with other people's work during his prolific mixtape days. Just 2 years later, Kendrick and TDE were on the rise, and Kendrick's label mate J-Rock secured a Weezy feature for his debut album, Follow Me Home. He brought Kendrick along for the experience, which became a full circle moment for him. He later reflected on that studio session for their hit song, All My Life, as a major turning point in his career.
A moment in the studio with Wayne, me and J-Rock in the studio with Wayne, I never told Wayne this. That changed my perspective about work ethic. Knocked out about 12 verses, and this is feature Wayne at the moment. And these not no motherfucking fly-by-night verses. This is set right there and thought out right in front of your face and smashing them. And he's excited about it, and he's loving music, and he loves what he's doing. That gave me a whole nother appreciation. And we took that same intensity and that work ethic, and we applied it moving forward from having that feature for all my life.
Throughout his journey through Overly Dedicated and Section 80 towards his real breakout Good Kid, Mad City, Tunechi kept getting the praise he deserved from K-Dot. For example, in an interview with BET from 2016, Kendrick didn't hesitate to let it be known just how much he admired Wayne, saying, "Still to this day, huge fan of Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is the greatest, not only because of his music, but also because of the culture he put behind it." It was a big part of what he was talking about, so we always hold Lil Wayne in high regards, Juvenile as well. And yeah, it's the impact of them, man. To be part of it the same way that he was part of it years later is just a great feeling. This influence was so apparent that some fans even felt that Dot was practically stealing from him by the end. And I mean, if you listen to some of those tracks, they may have a point.
These niggas call me Norman Bates with a poker face. Got the banger in my hand and I'm about to poke your face. 38, special, grab it, let him have it. Weather safe, we hungry, house in authority.
After all that Weezy had given him, there was no surprise that Dot felt like he had to be there for him at his lowest moments. So when Wayne was at the height of his contract drama with Birdman and claimed that he was going to retire, a saga which deserves a video in itself, Kendrick got lit and went on IG Live to inform him that the game still needed him.
Nigga talking about retiring and shit, nigga. Fuck that, nigga. Retire, quit, rap, whatever you want to call it, nigga. Fuck that, nigga. I'm in the motherfucking studio, nigga, doing motherfucking features, nigga. Nigga, I seen you, nigga, 2007, nigga, 2008. Nigga, I seen you knock out motherfucking 10 motherfucking features in a row, nigga, back to back, nigga. No, no, no!
After he decided to double back on his decision, Weezy saluted Kendrick for his support, even if he acknowledged that he didn't know him too well. But they would get more acquainted when they decided to collaborate on a track from the Carter 5, even if K-Dot worried at first that his contribution might not have made the cut.
Yeah, are you on the Carter 5?
Can I say that? Am I on the Carter 5? I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? If you had to be the, I gotta see.
You're on the Carter 5.
I got. Now I want to say
something might have been cut for the Carter 5.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
Because you sometimes you do ideas and sometimes you know it don't
The end result was Mona Lisa, an absolute banger track which came about when one of his producers, Infamous, suggested that Dot would be the perfect feature. The track was a major success in the eyes of fans who praised both K-Dot and Wayne's verses respectively. And these days, fans who are still fantasizing about seeing Wayne rock the Super Bowl stage believe this is where he would come out to a deafening roar from the New Orleans fans. But while the fans love that song, Weezy has had a slightly different relationship with it, which may actually play into one of the reasons that he was maybe overlooked by the biggest night in sports. During a recent tour stop, Weezy explained that he doesn't perform the song with Kendrick Lamar, but not on account of the feud with him and Drake. In fact, it's because he just couldn't remember those iconic bars that he delivered on the storytelling style track.
Listen, this is the second time I've seen this, and within my last few shows, somebody had a sign that said Mona Lisa. So if you're real Lil Wayne fans, then you know I don't know the lyrics to my shit. You know how hard that fucking song is, girl. It's working. You know what I mean? I don't like to rap the words, so, but I'm gonna learn that shit. I'm gonna learn it.
This isn't too out of character for Wayne, who even admitted that he looks up his own song lyrics to make sure he doesn't repeat his own bars.
I literally have to Google my lyrics to make sure I didn't say certain stuff.
God. Still, there are hints that there is maybe a little bit of friction between Weezy and Dot at the moment. On his famed Drake diss, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar references how Drizzy allegedly fucked on Wayne's girl when he was in jail, before then inking his face in his skin afterwards to apologize. For context, what Kendrick was referring to in these bars about his Young Money signee was that while Lil Wayne was in prison in 2010, Drake admitted to him that he had slept with his then partner and model, Tammy Torres. Wayne addressed his betrayal in his songs 6 Foot 7 Foot and How to Hate, but would go on to share his deeper feelings in his 2016 prison diary, Gone Till November. In an excerpt, he expressed the hurt of finding out, writing that while locked up, the news really messed him up. Kendrick also references Drake's 27 tattoo of Wayne's face, implying that it doesn't make up for the pain that Drake caused his mentor. Resurfaced clips seem to confirm this story.
In the book, there's a part in the book where you say that he came in and told you that he had smashed one of your girls.
Oh, when he rapped up? Oh, I wasn't worried about that. I mean, I was just, that's just how life goes when you locked up. Yeah, I know.
But she's done, you moved on, life is good. Life is good. Will you rap about that? You end up on a song maybe too,
No, she still be texting me and stuff, And stop texting me too, because it still hurt.
But Wayne himself stayed silent about the war between them. However, during a recent show, Wayne decided to rock his OVO owl pendant while referencing Not Like Us. Whether out of respect for Wayne or because he didn't think it was worth addressing, K-Dot hasn't responded to the jab or the complaints about being left off of the halftime show. And honestly, he has no reason to, because for the most part, it's not Lamar that's coming under fire for Weezy sitting on the sidelines, but another rapper who has deep and influential ties to the NFL, a man you probably know by the name of Jay-Z. As the news broke that Wayne wouldn't be headlining the Super Bowl, his loyal friends and Young Money soldiers like Nicki Minaj started taking shots at an unnamed individual on X, writing, "Denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego. Your hatred for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki Minaj got you punishing Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne? The GOAT? Nola, what's good?" It didn't take long to realize why it was Jay-Z's role in this decision that really came under scrutiny. Amid all of the Colin Kaepernick situation, Hov made the controversial decision to team up with the NFL to, in their words, enhance the NFL's live game experiences and to amplify the league's social justice efforts. Since 2019, Hov has been advising on the booking of the halftime show, and because of his influence, Nicki feels the responsibility falls squarely on him. But she's not the only one citing Jay having issues with the Cash Money camp as the reason Wayne was admitted from the show.
There's no reason why Lil Wayne should not be performing the Super Bowl. There's one person who's stopping this. I know, it's not really a secret. Lil Wayne had a problem with somebody before who's kind of part of the organization running it. This is payback. If anybody deserved it, Kendrick deserved it. But there's some backstory shit going on.
Yeah.
While Lil Wayne is not performing the Super Bowl.
Really sad. Like, come on, my nigga.
For real, bro.
You're that insecure, man.
But is there any truth to this? Is Jay-Z really sour towards Wayne? Or was this just a business decision? Well, if you take a brief look into the history of their relationship, you'll see that these unks may have had a point. In case you didn't know, Hov tried to sign Wayne once upon a time, but Hov lowballed him and then some. It's since turned into an inside joke between them.
You know, when I went out there to talk to him about being a Rockefeller, right? Mind you, this was years ago. First of all, it was at the 40-40. He was at the 40-40 in the daytime. And when I got up there, he was talking. It was Denzel. It was Turk Cheetah. I was like, this click. This is. And they up there just laughing at jokes I just don't get. Man, I be laughing loud. You know, so he literally set me down next to him. Like, this is where all that's going on at. Right. He set me right here. Like, you know, so you ain't a part of this. Yeah. They would talk to me after on the side, like after every joke. You're like, and that man offered me $175. I said, believe that. I was looking like 2 teeth in my mouth is $175.
Come on in here, man.
And so we laugh at that. We laugh about that all the time.
Now, Jay-Z remembers the situation slightly differently. If you ask him, Hov actively refused to sign to avoid stepping on Birdman's toes and respecting his business.
The truth is, after I had a meeting with Wayne, I had a relationship with Baby. I called them out of respect, like, yo, I was talking to Wayne, just letting you know. So after that, I think we received a letter at our office for like torturous interference. But I think I would rather lose that situation and do the right thing. I could have signed him.
But while this might just be a difference in perspective, there were moments of genuine frostiness between them. This came around after Birdman started claiming that Wayne had surpassed Hov at a time where he was generally considered the best in the world. When he said this during an interview, I don't think Jay-Z is the #1 MC in no kind of way. Wayne's the best. He do the most and he make the most money. I don't think no one in the business make more money than us. How can you be the best if you don't make the most money? Lyrically, come on man, be for real. Can't nobody fuck with Wayne. If you #1 and you ain't getting no money, it don't mean nothing. In this world, there are 2 things Hov prides himself on: being an elite lyricist and making serious bank as a former dope boy turned billionaire. Back then, Hov didn't quite have the net worth that he has now, but he was still all about the bag. So he couldn't let a comment like this lie, and on Watch the Throne's bonus track Ham, he took aim at the Cash Money boss and Wayne himself, saying,
like really $500 million, nigga, really, you got baby money, keep it real with niggas ain't got my lady money.
This got a response from Wayne on It's Good off the Carter 4, which was released in 2011, except this time, Weezy made it a little more personal, taking aim at Hov's wife, Beyonce.
Talking about baby money, I got your baby money. Kidnap your bitch, get that how much you love your lady money.
The war of words continued on La Familia as Jay let them know he wasn't about that. Without any real resolution, things seemed to have smoothed over, and by 2014, Lil Wayne was proclaiming that Hov is the god. I'll give Hov a big shout out all of the time in an interview. In fact, they patched things up so well that he even gave him advice during his contract issues with Baby. According to Wayne himself, that support helped keep him from going bankrupt.
People like Jay-Z, you know what I mean? He helped me when I was really, really, really down. There's people like Swiss Beats that's gonna send me every beat he make and want me to rap on every single one until I got my situation straight. He don't want me to talk about it, don't want me to tell nobody. Jay don't want me to tell nobody. That man helped me with my tax. These are real friends, y'all. Shout out to my nigga Jay.
Now, if that's hate, that's a weird way to show it. So people like Charlemagne the God felt that it boiled down to business.
I'm shocked that so many people are running with the Jay-Z is hating on Lil Wayne narrative, because Jay-Z has done nothing but show Wayne the utmost love. Jay-Z literally helped this man with his tax debt. I don't know what the actual number was, but the USA Today said back in 2018 it was over $14 million in taxes. Jay helped him get out of debt. Jay helped him keep his house. So I don't think that sounds like hate to me.
Without any ill will towards Weezy, Jay simply did what he knew the masses would look more fondly on.
Listen, I would love to see Lil Wayne and friends, but I mean, you got to ask yourself a real question. Who's better for business? Like, this is the Apple Music halftime show, right? Apple is paying for this. If I'm making a business decision in 2024 and I look at the monster year Kendrick just had, and I'm looking forward to February 2025, who's going to garner us the most eyeballs? Who's going to garner us the most streams? It's Kendrick.
Unless this is Jay-Z's ultimate retribution for Wayne never signing to Roc Nation, it seems like this really came down to dollars and cents. And beyond that, it's really what all of those people who are so enraged by Kendrick taking his spot aren't understanding. No one is necessarily arguing K-Dot's legend surpasses Wayne's, but what's clear is that at the moment, everything Kendrick touches turns to gold. Meanwhile, Weezy's sole project in 2024, Welcome to Collie Grove 2 with 2 Chainz, peaked at number 20 on the charts. Now, if it was coming off the back of unveiling the latest addition to the Carter series, that could have been a different matter. But even superfans of Wayne accepted that the timing just wasn't right.
Because I saw all these TikToks and all these videos that people were making talking about how much better Wayne is and how many better songs he's got. And while I agree, if I had to pick between who I would rather listen to, you know, whose music I could go without throughout my life, if we talking about between Wayne and Kendrick, I'm obviously gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Wayne. I don't even need Wayne. I don't even need somebody to justify the decision for me based off the fact that Wayne isn't as good of a performer live. I don't even need that to be the justification. Why anybody thinks that the NFL or the Super Bowl isn't business first and they're not gonna go with the option that is going to easily attract the most eyes is insane to me. Why people think that because this is done in someone's hometown that automatically qualifies them for the position of doing the halftime show is crazy to me. I read over the last 30 years they've rarely ever picked anybody from the hometown that they were in. Why niggas think that Wayne has to be the exception is insane to me. Another thing is Kendrick is a much better performer than Lil Wayne. That's facts. It's just the facts. I love Wayne. I'd put a mural of Wayne in front of my house. There's no competition with the live shows and with the live performances.
With Wayne having a vast difference in schedule even compared to last year's performer Usher, it's clear that while K-Dot is reaching the peak of his cultural relevance post-beef, Lil Wayne is now reaching that stage where he's winding down. And as for Kendrick's own relationship with Jay-Z, it's clearly never been stronger. To set the stage, it's worth noting that much like Lil Wayne, ironically, Kendrick was also a huge fan of Jay-Z growing up. On top of his infamous tweet where he said that Reasonable Doubt was better than Illmatic, quoting tons of Jay-Z lyrics in his songs as well as stating that he wanted to rap like him, Kendrick even tweeted a bunch about Jay-Z and even went as far as to say that Jay-Z is the criteria for what makes a great rapper.
I was always looking at Jay.
Of course.
Jay and M always been the criteria for me. I tell them this all the time.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because, you know, they passion for it. It's always been there. And you still see the hunger in their eyes, you know what I'm saying? So I still had that same passion as well, you know.
Bonded ever since he hopped on the remix of Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Kendrick played an intimate show at Dumbo House for him. Midway through, K-Dot even shouted the charitable treatment Hove had given him during his career, including references to his work from Lamar inside his own music side without a fee.
I said I do this for my coach, yo. Oh, good looking out for clearing that motherfucking line. You ain't never charged me for no motherfucking line, dog.
On the track Hood Politics, Kendrick mentioned Jay-Z in the words of encouragement he was given amidst the drama that came from his infamous verse on Big Sean's Control that took the game by storm. So while there's not much known about these two legends' relationship or their day-to-day lives in general, we do know that this relationship strengthened over the years. Kendrick Lamar is truly a once-in-a-generation artist and performer. Jay-Z said in a statement about the Super Bowl, his deep love for hip-hop and culture informs his artistic vision. He has an unparalleled ability to define and influence culture globally. Kendrick's work transcends music, and his impact will be felt for years to come. So while there could be some people who argue that favoritism is what led Kendrick to take the spot, you would need to pretty much ignore the fact that he was the most talked about artist of the year. Meanwhile, for Wayne, it seemed like the cause of his misery was unrealistic expectations, as well as a refusal to acknowledge what he's done that has allowed Kendrick to take pole position over him. For starters, there's his infamous unreliability. Across the past 2 years, Lil Wayne has canceled numerous shows on a whim. Not to mention the reports of some of those who have worked with him on major stages, such as the Grammys art director, who suggested that he doesn't have the flexibility and willingness to play ball that's required when dealing with these major platforms. I've worked with Lil Wayne before the Grammy performance, and personally feel that would be the biggest mistake ever putting him as the headliner for the biggest performance of the year, the Super Bowl. He showed up to 0 rehearsals, we didn't even think he would make the performance. Then last minute he was in the building and ran on stage for the performance and ran back off into oblivion, LOL. never even got to meet him after a week of rehearsals for a show. In Joe Budden's eyes, this lack of professional, but above all else, the simple fact is that while we all revere Wayne as a legend, he just isn't what he once was. Back in 2006, he would have been a perfect fit for an event of this caliber, but ultimately, those days are long gone, particularly in the eyes of those who aren't invested in hip-hop culture. You're a dumbass if you think Wayne, 10 years off his prime, was even under consideration. The fuck does the NFL care about Wayne's legacy? He couldn't get the Super Bowl in 2013 when Young Money was the hottest shit popping. You think he'll be the first solo hip-hop act now? They want ratings. And Wayne was not going to bring enough dollars to the table for him to be a viable choice. This ain't a charity, bro. Cut it out. Wayne is a legend, but let it go. Regardless of whether you're a Kendrick fan or not, no one involved in hip-hop would argue that the first solo rapper performance wasn't an important moment for the culture in general.
Well, I don't really have no opinion, but what I do want to say is that just remember what the NFL was 15 years ago when it comes to hip-hop. How many hip-hop artists was able to grace that stage 15 years ago? So I understand both sides of the coin, and I understand how people feel. I have no answer, no opinion, because I had the opportunity to get up there via Dr. Dre. I didn't do any Snoop Dogg songs. I was up there helping Dr. Dre, and it became a great moment for all of us. So Lil Wayne is the GOAT of New Orleans rap. Remember, I was at No Limit Records for 3 years, and I watched his whole career come to life, and then watched him become the biggest. I watched him get bigger than me. You feel what I'm saying? And I was gigantic at the time, and I love seeing his growth. And me and Wayne is family to this day. Me and Kendrick is family to this day. And me and Jay-Z and me and Roger Goodell. So I don't know who is the decision maker. All I know is that I'll be home watching the Super Bowl, and when the halftime show come on, I'll be watching that as well.
The man who once looked up to Wayne is now at the forefront of the culture, and for that, Weezy can be proud. After all, Kendrick is not just a rapper of the highest level, but also a formidable presence in the game who no one wants to mess with. And if you want to find out exactly why rappers are scared of Kendrick Lamar, you can click the video on the screen. As always, it's your boy Louaista, and I want to thank y'all for watching today's video. I got a lot more bangers than the tuck for y'all, so just wait on it. Till next time, my friends. Peace.